guys. So you may have noticed so far with our art appreciation assignments that artists today do some pretty crazy things. So I wanted to pay quick tribute to the artist and particularly the piece of artwork that really paved the way for modern artists today to do things like put cheese puffs all over a family room set or to completely obliterate a room with dots. These things would not have been acceptable 100 years ago. So I wanted to take a look at one of my favorite artists and piece of artwork by Marcel Duchamp, which really helped to free artists from their medium. And the artwork that did that is this piece here. It's called Fountain, and it is indeed a urinal turned on its side, and it has a fake name on it. It says Armut 1917. So let's talk about this word medium. That is the art world word for materials. So when an artist is talking about what medium they use to create something, they're describing the materials that are used to create the artwork. So Marcel Duchamp was a well-trained artist, as you can see here. He was born in 1887, which is kind of a big turning point for art in general. That's when Impressionism was a big deal. So this style was really popular. But in 1915, he moved to New York City, and the art world in New York City was quite different, and it was very forward thinking. So he joined a society of independent artists, and in fact, he became one of the board members for that society. And they had these annual exhibitions, like you can see this poster for the exhibition here. And he wanted to submit something to this exhibition to sort of make sure that everybody was agreeing about the ideas for what could be considered art. So he decided to do something very similar to what he had already done before. And in his apartment, he had taken a ready-made stool with a bicycle wheel and combined them together. And he started to think about this process where he took two things that already existed and he put them together and made a new thing. And he's like, really, that's what artists do. When you boil it all down, artists just make choices. They take things that already exist in the world and they make something new. So he decided to go out and find just one thing. He chose one object to sort of convey this point. So he went out on the town and was shopping for his object, and he comes across one of these storefronts, which was a store that sold toilets for commercial use. And he found this Bedfordshire urinal, and he decided that was the object that was probably just ludicrous enough for him to use. So he purchased it, took it home, turned it on its side, and signed it with a fake name, Armut, and then dated it 1917, wrapped it up, submitted it with the necessary exhibition fee, boxed it up, and then sent it off to the exhibition. So because he didn't use his real name, he got to see the actual reaction from his friends, the other board members, about this piece of artwork. And largely, it was not well accepted. In fact, the original urinal disappeared. Nobody knows what happened to it. Maybe it was destroyed, thrown away. We'll never know. So luckily, Marcel Duchamp was forward-thinking enough to have a picture of the original urinal taken by a rather famous photographer, Alfred Stieglitz. And Alfred Stieglitz then published the picture in this article where he defended the case for Richard Mutt, Armut, and said that the Society of Independent Artists should have included his artwork because they said that it was an unjuried exhibition and anything would be accepted. So this has opened up a huge debate, really even since then, about what is art. So anyways, if you want to see the largest collection of Marcel Duchamp's work, you have to go to Philadelphia. Here I am with a copy of one of the 13 replicas of the urinal. I say there's 13 because Marcel Duchamp, once they destroyed the first one, he was like, fine, I'll just go out and I'll buy 12 more. So this is one of them. And it still is signed Armut 1917. You can also see the bicycle wheel and the stool. But you also have to go there if you want to see the very last piece of artwork he made, which is an installation that sits behind this very huge wooden door. And you have to get right up to the door and look through this little tiny peephole. And I'm not telling you what's behind there. So anyways, this has been deemed the most influential piece of artwork that was made in the 20th century. And it was dubbed that by 500 of the most influential art historians in the world. So in 2004, they said, you know what, this is it. This is the thing that has really shaped modern art today. So I wanted to explain this to you because maybe it'll help you to understand why art today looks so different than some of the other artists you may have studied throughout the years. So what Fountain really did for modern artists was it helps modern artists to value their ideas more than their craft. Artists are also free from their medium, so they can use anything to communicate their ideas, even if it's a ready-made toilet. What it also did, though, was it gave power to the viewers. Viewers are now permitted and encouraged to be more active participants in the work. So, like you saw with our installation artist last week, you not only get to be physically involved in the work, but you're also invited to sort of interpret the artwork however you want and really think about the meaning of things. So with this week's artists, I want you to recognize how they don't fit neatly into one category, such as painter, sculptor, photographer, etc. They use a variety of means to create a truly unique experience for their audience. And I think it's interesting, even at UCLA, if you want to study art at UCLA, they have a department for painting and sculpture and photography, but they also have a department that's called New Genres, where there's an interdisciplinary studio where they're constantly pushing the boundaries of what is considered art. So this is a very now thing. This is what art is like today. And I hope you enjoy some of these artists that we've talked to you about.